Hello, everybody. It's RM here. Hello to everybody on the Brit Network, and hello to everybody on Positive Fandom. As you guys know, I have been recently attending a Comic-Con where I had a chance to see Run DMC, particularly DMC, who has started his new comic brand called Daryl Makes Comics. And during that time, I had known about a particular comic book created by Ed Piskor called Hip Hop Family Tree. Now, Ed Piskor has his own YouTube channel that he shares with another guy. I think the guy's name is Chris Rudd. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that up so you can kind of see. Their channel is called Cartoonist Kayfabe. And it's really kind of a go-to YouTube channel for me, if I can pull it up here. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because over the past, I guess maybe since 2014, Piskor and his and Jim Rugg have done a fantastic job with this YouTube channel. But more importantly, Ed Piskor has been working on a book called The Hip Hop Family Tree. And I just want to show you this incredible YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed to Cartoonist Kayfabe, you really need to go ahead and do that, because this is sort of like the go-to channel for pretty much every type of comics, regardless of what they're about. They cover everything. So if you like superhero comics, if you like indie comics, regardless of what it is, they will cover it on this show. And hello to everybody out there. Hey, Cass Graphics and Daniel. Barry Sports Highlights. Hope you guys are doing well. I want to talk about, in particular, Ed Piskor's, book, this comic, which is just so extraordinary in its accomplishment, called Hip Hop Family Tree. And it's exactly what you would expect it to be. What it is Ed's desire to capture the history of hip hop from the 70s, practically over like a 30-year period, of some of the most incredible hip hop artists you've ever known, that we all know because their influence is so far reaching, but also doing incredible artistic drawings of these artists, specifically of hip hop. And I'm sure you guys remember the early style of hip hop with Kangol and gold chains and, just incredible tracksuits with Pumas, Lees, all of that good stuff that we like. If you remember those early days, he captures it in the Hip Hop Family Tree. Now, as I said, Piskor created the Hip Hop Family Tree starting in 2014. And I believe it's 10 separate books, but fairly recently, yeah, that's right. Wraith7 says Cartoonist Kayfabe also does great extensive interviews. Yes, they do. So not only are they comic book creators themselves, but they also interview other comic book creators. And it probably is my favorite YouTube channel for looking at comics. So if you want to know where would I start with comics, I would recommend going to this channel, which is Cartoonist Kayfabe, because they cover everything in here. You can kind of see some of their videos with some of their guests and everything that they cover. And it is everything. One of my particular favorite interviews they did was with the guy who created Aeon Flux. And here they're showing Monica, which I also purchased, and I'm going to cover that in another video. But they really cover everything, and they're well known in the industry. So you guys, whoever's out there, go ahead and subscribe to Cartoonist Kayfabe. It really is such a fantastic channel for anybody who likes, comics. And of course, as I said, Ed Piskor here is the gentleman who has created these comic series called Hip Hop Family Tree. So I kind of knew about it before, although I haven't necessarily spoken on the channel. And hello, Tatsu-sama. I'm sorry, I couldn't say it. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. It's so kind of you to do that, Tatsu-sama. Good to see you. Hope you are well. Let me know, are you a fan of Hip Hop Family Tree and of Ed Piskor or Jim Rugg? Let me know what you're thinking and what's on your mind with that. Yes. So you did see it. You saw it, Wraith. X7, you did see it. You saw that Peter Chung interview. Wasn't it great how Peter Chung was talking about the influence of how just even the way he writes the name Aeon Flux, and how he's seen people who have tattoos with that particular, design and what influence it's had. So it is fun to hear these artists talk about this. And I remember Aeon Flux from watching it on MTV initially in the 90s. Certainly, what a great channel, guys. So do check out Cartoonist Kayfabe. And the gentleman who is the author of the book that I'm going to be talking about tonight, his name is Ed Piskor, an extraordinary comic book creator and certainly a genius. I think that this book that he's made has shown up on lists of like the 100 greatest comics of all time. Hip Hop Family Tree is on a few of those lists. So I do want to mention that as well. So let's just go ahead and take a look about what this comic book really is about. And certainly it is an omnibus collection, which means that it is all 10, and I believe it is 10 comics that make up the entire Hip Hop Family Tree series. Here on this thing, they talk about how Hip Hop Family Tree Omnibus finally collects the landmark series. And of course, it is hip hop as an art form turns 50 this year. So it's not a surprise that the Omnibus would come out this year. And guys, I've been talking about this Omnibus. I went to the con, as I said, and was so excited to see everybody talking and celebrating hip hop and comics, because it feels like, for me, it goes hand in hand. What a fun way to express yourself, but also to capture a moment in history, you making comics of hip hop. And here in the article here, hip hop as an art form turns 50. That means it's a perfect time for Fantagraphics to release a new hardcover edition of the seminal Hip Hop Family Tree, a comic that definitely belongs in any self-respecting rap fan's library. To celebrate release of the Omnibus, he's created a new series of hip hop trading cards that are actually inside of the book, which I'm going to show you guys so you can see it. And there's a slideshow gallery here. You can actually check out the slideshow gallery here as well on this article. But they talk about it. For those who haven't experienced the series, Hip Hop Family Tree serves as an illustrated history of the genre and the artists, DJs, and dancers who defined hip hop. The series was originally published in 4 volumes, and the Omnibus marks the first time they're all collected in one book. Guys, I have it. I'm going to show it to you. Along with that original material, the hardcover features a wealth of bonus material like annotations, covers, and brand new artwork. It's actually got 150 extra pages of additional artwork and everything. It has been a global phenomenon, guys. It's been a bestseller. And certainly they talk about Cartoonist Kayfabe here in this article about the history of hip hop culture told in a comic book form with verve, swagger, and style. Piskor's creating crackles like Jack Kirby's illustrations, cartooning crackles like Jack Kirby's illustrations, and takes readers from the parks and rec rooms of the South Bronx to the nightclubs, recording studios, radio stations, where the scene started to boom, guys, okay? Where the scene started to boom, capturing the flavor of the late 1970s New York City in panels bursting with obsessively authentic detail. The technical innovations, the triumphs and failures are all thoroughly researched and lovingly depicted with a vigorous and engaging Ken Burns meets Stan Lee approach. Like the acclaimed hip-hop documentary style Wars and Scratch, Hip Hop Family Tree is an essential cultural chronicle and a must for hip-hop fans, pop culture addicts like myself, along, it's making me lose my spot here. Sorry, guys. Pop culture addicts and anyone who wants to know how it went down back in the day. So here Piskor says, when I selected the artists for the card series, I wanted to choose some people who were immediately recognizable and maybe hyperbolic in their aesthetics. I needed to come up with some fun on the back covers of the Hip Hop Family Tree comic book, and these drawings felt like the right approach. Also, the design of the cards in hip hop fashion is sampled from fantastic Marvel Universe Series 2 card set from around 1991 or 1992, probably the same year that MTV Rap trading cards. One major exercise in the Hip Hop Family Tree is to constantly interchange the relationship between comics and hip hops. Now it is actually available now. You can get it on Amazon, guys, and I do want to mention that as well. So let's say if you want to go ahead and purchase this omnibus, you can. I think I had showed it before, but I am going to show it I'm going to show it again so that you can see that you can purchase it. I purchased it for the full price, and I'm not complaining. It is worth every penny that I paid for it, but you can get it less than that. You can actually get it for very inexpensive now, much less, maybe about $20 less than what I paid for it. So I do want to show you now, if I can just pull it up. It's not cooperating sometimes. Okay. You can buy it. I think it is a decent sized book. So I think it's definitely worth, even though I did pay more for it, I would pay that amount again. So let me just pull it up here for you to see. And I'm going to share it as well. Now, it went on sale a few weeks ago, and I I didn't get a chance to I didn't, like I purchased it. Yeah, it's telling you that I purchased it. So, now you guys know this, that I purchased it on October 16th, but I had to wait till it arrived, and I got it. And here it is. And I'm going to show you it. It's got a gold foil cover that it looks so awesome. I didn't know it was gold. Like this was kind of a surprise to me, but I'm going to show it to you closer in a minute. But I did want to let you guys know that it is available on Amazon right now. So you can go to Amazon, and I think the cost is, let's say $56. You have to get it. It's hardcover. I paid the full price for it. I think I paid $75 for it. And I don't regret it because, I think it's incredible what Ed Piskor has put together here in this book. Plus the omnibus, as I said, has an additional number of pages. If you look at the description here, it'll tell you, if you look at it, that the omnibus collection includes the original 360-page series with over 140 extra pages of material, a cover gallery of every Hip Hop Family Tree book and comic book cover and back cover Piskor has ever created, pages from the Hip Hop Family Tree comic book series that have never been collected, new annotations of the entire series by Piskor, and much, much more. Plus, it features a foreword by Charlie Ahern and an afterword by Bill Adler. And here they review it. They say it's an entertaining encyclopedia of the formative years of the music genre that changed global culture. Piskor's cartooning, I think this is the same comments that I read before, but I did just want to mention it to you that it is available for purchase. You guys can click on there and purchase this now. And like I said, I paid the $75, but if you guys go in there now, you can get it for less. So do check that out as well. I also wanted to mention, let me see if I can stop that. Okay. Also wanted to talk a little bit more about other reviews of this incredible omnibus, because there have been reviews by different people who really are impressed by what's going on. And I was going to tell you that they did a great review of it on Goodreads. And it may not be a new review, but I'm just going to show you what it says so you can get kind of like some different views here. And here it says Hip Hop Family Tree, the Omnibus by Ed Piskor, a 5.0, perfect score here. On Goodreads says, discover the history of hip hop in graphic novel form. It's a New York Times bestselling series. It's got extras. It's been a global phenomenon, and very similar to what we saw in the comments. But I did want to mention to you all that they also are saying that it's amazing, and you can see everybody's comments about it. Everybody just, here's Ed Piskor. There's a little information about him, so you can find out more about him as well. So Goodreads gives it a 5.0. And as I said, I also want to mention that on the lists of top comics, like the top 100 comics ever created, I've seen it on a few of those lists throughout, I guess in different reviewers. So we're not the only ones. I'm not the only one who thinks that this is just unbelievable, because it is. It is. And let me see. One other thing I wanted to share. Do I have it up here? Let me just grab it. I have one more article, I think, on this, because I just love it so much. It's been such a great experience. Is this the one? Yeah, this is it. And let me just pull this up here. Yes. I also wanted to mention that there's a wiki page of it, and I'm just going to pull that up for a second before I start to go into looking at the book and showing you some really interesting parts of this incredible, it's so good, this incredible book. So here we go. Let's see. Let me just close that. And yes, you can go to Wiki and you can find out more because this is really just such an iconic book. And here it says Hip Hop Family Tree is a series. They're calling it educational and historical comic book. And of course, it does document the early history of hip hop culture. And here they're also saying that Piscor won an Eisner Award for Best Reality-Based based work in 2015. Yeah, it is very interesting to see what he's done. And certainly this is maybe the first one that he ever did. There you can see, I don't know which rap artist that is on the cover. I don't know all the names. I mean, I know all the songs of the rap artists, but I don't remember everybody's name. And I do want to mention here he has down, it's the coolest comic magazine in the universe. And it is. It really is. So let's go ahead and start looking at the book specifically. And now I don't have a professional setup to look at the book, but I'm going to enlarge my picture. You know, I'm small here in this frame right now, but I'm going to make it bigger so you can see me and I can start to talk about how incredible this book is, because it just blew me away. In particular, some of the color choices of it just blew me away. I thought that there was a lot of time and care that was chosen to make this book look phenomenal. And I wonder if I could go full screen on this. I don't know. I think I had the settings so that I'm not full screen. So let me see. Layout, full screen. And I don't have that, but that's okay. I'll just keep the screen that I have here. So here's the book. And my computer screen is reflecting off of it, but you can see it says Hip Hop Family Tree Omnibus. And if I bring it in even closer, you can see more of the detail of this. That's obviously Grandmaster Flash for those of you who are fans of Grandmaster Flash. I wasn't expecting this type of tone and detail just even in the picture on the front of the book. I mean, I kind of saw it on the screen when I first saw it and wanted to purchase it, but I wasn't expecting something that had this type of gold hue to it. It feels like you're opening up something that's magical and amazing. And it really does give you that sense of wonder. And in the background, you can see, even if we zoom in a little bit closer, which I'm going to, you can see that they have famous artists featured on here, guys. Certainly, I think I've shown you this before, but you can see some of the famous artists in detail. They're kind of shown in the background behind Grandmaster Flash. This is stunningly beautiful, guys. And I love the old school tagging. I believe that's what it's called. The tagging style and the way that it's written, it looks authentic. I would see this written on the side of a bus or a train or on a wall somewhere in this style. I love Ed Piscor has a great tagging style. Whoever did this, maybe it wasn't Ed who did that part, but I think he did. And it's just really alive. It comes alive in such a beautiful way. It's stunning. Now, I also have to show you, of course, here's the spine. It's so remarkable. Here's the back. It continues with sort of the detail of artists there. And I'm going to go really close, guys. You can see the price is $75. That's how much I paid for it. And you can, of course, see the different rap artists there. It is so much fun to look at this. And of course, you can see Run DMC there with their Kangol, and you can put the records on the corners just as a celebration of the music part. And I think that that's such a lovely touch when you're looking at a book like this, because when you see the spine, if someone were to see this on your shelf with all your other Omnibus collections, they don't know what it's going to look like when they pull it out. But when you pull it out and it's got a gold cover, I mean, it is so exciting to see something that is like that. It's something special. So let's go ahead and start to look inside of the book a little bit, because I'm still just so blown away by this. Yes, the Furious Five. Thank you, Darkwing Duck. The detail and the beauty in this book is phenomenal. And the thought about it is phenomenal. I can't even speak. I'm so excited in it. And certainly it deserves all of this. Now, I think to be very, fair about this, it's going to be impossible to show every single detail of this book, because there is so much detail, but I'm going to try and show some highlights of it over the next 40 minutes or so. And I did just want to show you, look at this care and detail. You get a sense of where this is taking place. Maybe it's in the Bronx somewhere. And you can see it's spray painted onto onto a building on the side. It's so beautiful. And it really did look like this at one time. These days, it's not so common to see as much broken down buildings and everything, because I believe that a lot of the empty lots that are depicted even in this book have been purchased and built on by investors. So there's very few lots that are open and that you could, who do you like better, Mel or Cowboy? I'm going to say Mel. I'm going to say Mel Darkwing Duck. So let's keep going in here and look at this, where it says, they're telling you book 1, 1973, all the way up to book 4, which is 1980. Does it say 1985? Maybe there's an extra book there. Side B, roll call about the authors, trading cards, splash pages, hip hop comic book connection, and the afterword about the author, guys. Just so beautifully done. I can't get over how beautiful it is. And it does feel like a history book. Obviously, it is a comic book. It's a stunning comic book. Here, De La Soul says, Ed Piskor is the shit. And guys, De La Soul is from the soul. Fab Five Freddy says, being in an Ed Piskor comic is cool enough to freeze hot water. Yes. I just love it. But it doesn't stop there. So as I said, the original series was critically acclaimed, and you do get the covers, the original covers of those comics. So, hey, Luminara 843, certainly the queen of Figure Flex Friday is here. Hey, Luminara, I'm reviewing Hip Hop Family Tree, the Omnibus edition. Do you have this book? Does anybody out there have this book? Is this the first time you're seeing the Omnibus edition? It is available on Amazon. And Luminara 843, is such a pleasure to see you tonight, my dear. If you are a fan of hip hop, you absolutely need to get this Hip Hop Family Tree Omnibus by Ed Piskor. I'm just opening up another page. Look at this beauty here, guys. And I think that alone, even in his sunglasses, look at how cool the sunglasses are, where you can see the party is going on till the break of dawn, people, till the break of dawn. Oh, man, it is so much fun to kind of relive this, look at this, try to identify who's in some of these frames. This is what you kind of want with something that has fun and it celebrates the culture, goes ahead and shows you so much of the style and just the fashion and the fun associated with all of this. I think what has been done, and of course you're going to see the next page, it's in the thing. Oh, did you really? Yes, he did. He has done X-Men. I think one of them has done Hulk Grand Design. They also do superhero comics. Ed and Jim are incredible, aren't they? Nerd Corp. I love Ed and Ed Piskor and Jim Rugg. They are like the kings. But here you can actually see the panel that's kind of over here. And then it's here, and you can see Flash with the thing on the back of his head. And I just want to show you, they even have break dancing in this. Look, and I'm going to pull in. You can see the break dancing. You can see the cardboard box on the floor, and you can see everybody going, oh, go, 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 go. I mean, this is really, I can just hear the music in the background. I can feel this whole vibe coming on. You got the train whizzing on by, and someone's got a record in their hand because they're getting ready to put that record on the turntable and start to play. It's just so much fun. Now, I also want to mention that the panels are incredibly detailed, even the small panels. We're talking about so many layers of information in a lot of these panels because they wanted specifically to include things like rap battles. They wanted to include things like cultural phenomenons and interests. They wanted to include fashion. They wanted to include specific looks that people had. A lot of attention to detail went into this. So you have panels that aren't like, hi, it's not necessarily a panel like this. It's more something like, it's the mid 1970s in the dilapidated South Bronx. If you're looking for fun, the only positive form of recreation would be to attend one of DJ Herc's parties. in a rec room located at 1220 Sedgwick Avenue. And it's like, clap your hands, stomp your feet. I mean, it's really jam on it. That's right, Darkwing Duck. Jam on it. A jam on it. Yes, that's absolutely it. So if you enjoy kind of reading this and just in having fun with the culture, especially old school hip hop, guys, if you remember those days of just having fun with it and all the fashions and all this stuff. Oh, do you challenge me? Mark Spector's advertises he challenges me to a dance off. I will meet your challenge, Mark Spector. You're gonna win, but I'll try. I mean, I won't stop till the break of dawn. Okay. And I also want to mention. So, I can't, obviously, I want to go through the whole, I want to show you every single panel. It's not possible even within a week or two to show you the whole panel. It's not to show you this whole book. Yeah, maybe Darkwing, maybe he is in the book. I have no idea. And there's a section where he shows, where Pisgor shows, for people like me who don't remember everybody's name, there's a section in there where he shows you every single artist's name. And I thought that was so respectful. Look at them here. I just love it. And there they are there against the chainmail fence, just hanging out, talking about the music, talking about the culture. I think it's very interesting. Darkwing Duck, I'm going to have to look another time because I haven't read the whole book yet, Darkwing Duck. I haven't read the whole thing, so it might be in there. And like I said, it goes from the 70s. And I just think it's done with so much care and thought. I can't get enough of this book. Now, I also wanted to show you, he even drew Don Cornelius from Soul Train. And I just had, okay, here's the page. Look at this. This is remarkable. Where are we going to find stuff like this that has this level of detail and history in it? He didn't take pictures. This is drawn by hand. Now, there are some photographs in this book. There are. But look at this Don Cornelius. You guys remember Soul Train, right? You remember Soul Train? Look at how beautiful this is and how Pisgor took so much attention to go ahead and capture this for all of us for posterity. I can open this up and have a conversation with family and friends and really enjoy this from page to page. And Luminara, this thing is like almost 400 pages. It's at the end, I think it's 480 something pages. I mean, now there's so much I want to show you. Like I said, these panels are extraordinary. They're not ordinary panels. They have incredible level of thought and care that Ed has put into this. Ed loves this genre. He loves this. I think that his desire to create something that he felt would have a lasting impression and maybe be a go-to book. Yes, Purple Velvet Suit. Yes, would certainly be something that he felt was necessary and certainly part of what a graphic novel can do, and honestly create a lot of fun and enthusiasm. When I look at some of this stuff, I get so excited about what he was able to accomplish, because I think that even if I tried to imagine that era as a graphic novel, I couldn't have come up with something as intricate as what Ed Pisgor has had. And of course, there's dealings with the industry, there's dealings with how they're going to handle their careers, what happens throughout that time period, making money, all of that interesting stuff. Here's another one. I'm just trying to find, there was another one that I was looking for, guys. KRS-One is in here. I'm also seeing Def Jam Records. You remember all the different companies? I don't even know if they're still around, that were out. And you can actually, he takes the label from the records, the center of the records. You remember the labels? He takes that and puts it in the book. So if you have it at home, you can really, see that. Bonzo says, you can bet your last money it's going to be Stone Gas Honey. Love, peace, and soul. Thank you, Bonzo. You are amazing. Here's even more. I can't get over this. If you know someone who loves hip hop, who loves graphic novels, who loves old school rap, this is the perfect gift that you can get them. This is the perfect gift. Look at this. You remember this, don't you? I remember the rapping. I remember Run DMC so well. Look at the beauty in the book, the dancers, the artistry. Look at this guy standing on his hands in the book. Look at that. I'm just blown away by the beauty of it all. Yeah, yes, Mark Spector's avatar. LL is probably in here. I have to look for it. I got to look through 400 pages, Mark. That's how many pages there are of incredible artistry and work in history. And I think this might be him, although it doesn't. Yep, maybe this is him when he was younger, because, you know, he was just a kid back then. And let's see if this is him. I don't know. I don't know if this is him, but this might be LL when he was young, when he was a kid. Rock the Bells. That might be LL there with the red Kangol. I'm not sure. There's so many stories, so much history in the book. This is something that you could look at a section and have a conversation with family, especially the younger generation who may not know everybody. But yes, you could really have an incredible discussion with this book. And it is LL, Mark Spector. That was LL who's in the red. Yep, I got it right. See, I do know my stuff. And as you can see, oopsie doodle. It says LL Cool J right there. Mark Spector's avatar right there. LL Cool J is hot as hell. Okay, rock the bells. Yes. Rock the bells, guys. You're looking for that perfect gift for someone who likes rap. This is it. Roxanne. You remember that, guys? Roxanne, I want to be your man. You remember that? Gosh, it's just so much enjoyment, so much pleasure when you're looking at this and you remember all that stuff. There's some more pages I want to show where he features incredibly large panels with so much beautiful detail. It's stunning. Look at the sneakers here. Like here in this picture, there's of course the table, and then the incredible sneakers. Of course, are those? I don't know if those are Adidas or they're not Pumas, but you can see how beautiful it is. Look at the beauty in this. This is somebody who wanted to. Yes, Cass. It wasn't a great Cass. Oh, what an era this was of the house party, of the fun of it all, just having an enjoyable time. What a great time to be alive. And I think it's a great celebration of it. I think this is a great celebration of that time. And just to enjoy that period of our lives. Look at this. He even has, you remember Sears? Like he's going to Sears, I guess, for something. The attention to detail and the care that this was absolutely made with love. And I think that sometimes you get these books that are made with love, that pay attention to things that you and I will notice after having lived through this era, that pay attention to so many things that we are looking for as fans, that we remember from that time period. That was very, interesting in a sense. But for those of us who lived through it, we remember it so well. As Cast Graphics says, I remember all of it. They have a cover gallery. Even look at this. I really like the spotlight on a guy. He's getting ready. He's ready for the party. He's got his tracksuit on, and then of course there's the cover gallery where they tell you everything that's in here, the editions, and of course this is the full size pictures of the editions. But sometimes even when someone gives you a picture like this, there's so much to read from the picture. You remember the style of the Kangols? If you wore a Kangol, if you wore this kind of Kangol, if you wore the other kind, I think it does say a lot about the style and the tradition and what a person felt as an artist and what they were going for and how important that is. I am Africa Bombasta. I possess the perfect beat, it says. And what an incredible celebration of that particular artist here in one of these. Let me show you a few more. You remember Salt and Pepper here? Salt and Pepper. It's really an enjoyable thing to see. I mean, we can look at photographs of these artists that we love. We can look at photographs, and there are some photographs in the book as well. But isn't it fun how Ed has gone ahead and emphasized how important the style and the passion in the music is, which I think, although you still can capture it in a photograph, it is, incredibly fascinating when it's presented in a graphic novel. So I did just want to mention that there's more of them. There's so many stories. There's so many stories in this family tree. I can't get over how wonderful this is. And like I said, guys, go to Amazon, go ahead and go ahead and if this is what you think a family member would like for Christmas, I think they would love it. And of course, Flava Flav. Flava Flav is there. I just am so inspired by seeing this. I think it shows so much excitement for the medium, so much emphasis for wanting to recognize artists. And here, of course, is Biggie Smalls in one of the covers there, and of course, Run DMC there on the side. So I also want to show you in the back, they do have photographs as well as trading cards, although I don't really have enough time to show you every single trading card. I don't have enough time to even show you 2 or 3 sets of what's going on in here. But what I can say is, of course, when he created these comics, they were and still are a sensation. And I believe that this is Ed Piskor here in the picture. Is that him? Let me just make sure. Yeah. So there's Ed with Daryl DMC. Of course, you guys know him as DMC, and they have a nice photo gallery. It's not a whole bunch of photos. It might be maybe 2 or 3 pages of photos when the book first came out, and I think that is really interesting. You remember these giant boom boxes? I still have. My brother had one. My brother had a big boom box, and my mother was very concerned that he had this big boom box. She thought someone was going to take it away from him. And my brother said, no, I'm always with people. They're not going to try and take it. And I think it was either him or his friend. They had like a little cart to carry around the boom box. And my brother, when he like grew up, the boom box was still in the house. So it was like there all this time. And he, like, let's say when my parents finally sold their house, he didn't want the boombox, so I took it. It's in my garage. I still have the boombox. It's enormous. The radio works. The tape deck works, but when the tape finishes, it just like pops out because there's no cover. But it's like, you remember these things? So there's even annotations here. He'll have a lot of my 1970s Bronx gang member designs came from the 1979 documentary 80 Blocks from Tiffany's, directed by Gary Wise. I recommend you check out this flick as it shows the exact conditions that hip hop sprung from. It's a missed opportunity that the filmmakers didn't dig a little deeper under the surface, as they would have scooped everybody regarding this more positive burgeoning youth culture. And he has all these sort of annotations in there explaining. And, I know stuff, but I don't know everything. I admit that. I don't know everything. I don't remember all the details of how things happened. So it is nice to kind of go in there and get that explanation from a lot of things. And there's a lot of explanations in this. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys. I'm going to say that if I have to rate this hip hop comic book, which is what it is, graphic novel. If I had to rate this, you remember this? I mean, it's turned into B-boy now, right? That's what they call it, B-boy. There's popping and locking, and then there's B-boy. And then there's that dance, I think that that the girl who sang Mickey and the guy from Electric Boogaloo Beats created. And like they're still doing B-boy. Like there's still competitions where people are like, they're going to do B-boy, and it's so cool looking. I mean, we still see this. We still see people doing this. It's got much more of an international exposure now. But if I had to rank, or if I had to rate this comic Omnibus edition by Ed Piskor, I'd have to give it a perfect 5 out of 5, because I don't think there's anything else that can hold a candle to this. And of course, these are the names of everybody. So, for someone like me where I can't remember everyone's names, I recognize them, but I can't remember everybody's names. And I'll go, oh, yes, they are there. Plus, I don't remember everyone's actual name versus their stage names. So if their stage name is not their real name, I I don't always remember their real name. And it's because back then we couldn't go to Wikipedia or anywhere. Oh, yes. Mark Spector says, my dad used to do the Cabbage Patch. I'm sure he did. And this was it just was so wonderful to share this with you guys. And I did want to mention it. If you have anybody who's a hip hop fan or who likes comics like this, who likes the culture, the early culture of hip hop, if you yourself are a fan of hip hop, if you want something very special, you want to give this as a gift to somebody. I feel like I'm selling the thing for Ed Piskor. He doesn't need my endorsement, but I'm just telling you all that as a independent, an indie comic collector, which I am, I like indie comics. I like very unusual comics. This has been such a pleasure to receive, to open. It's fascinating looking. The gold feels like it's worth like a lot of money almost. I think he made it gold just to mirror the gold and the gold chains and a lot of gold in a lot of the wrappers that use it. But I did want to encourage you all to go ahead, go to Amazon, pick it up. I think it's in around $50. It is worth every penny. As I said, if you saw this on someone's shelf on their collection, you would say, oh, Hip Hop Family Tree, I wonder what that's about. You would turn and you go, oh, wow, look at that. Look at the gold. Look at the amazing detail in this. It's phenomenal. And the last thing I'm going to say before I wrap up the stream, you guys have been so patiently listening to me for the past 40 minutes, which feels like I just started talking, is is the comments by Biz Markie and by DMC, Daryl DMC, who say very specifically in the front of the book, this is the comic of all time, Biz Markie, the Vapors. And Daryl DMC says he's not just doing a comic book, he's doing a piece of history. And I think that's what this is. I think this is an extraordinary historical hip hop comic graphic novel that has incredible importance. Yes, I haven't started Love and Rockets Nerd Corp. I own a few, but I haven't started it. I know that there's a lot in that. I recently picked up another comic book called Monica, which everybody is talking about, how extraordinary this Monica, I think it's called Monica, comic book. I hope I'm saying the right thing. But thank you for mentioning it. And certainly I am interested in things like that. I like different comics like what you are saying. And I assure you that I am going to maybe bring up Love and Rockets one of these days. But I got inspired to show the Hip Hop Family Tree Omnibus because this is the first Omnibus edition they've made. And also because during DMC's panel in New York Comic Con this year, he talked about how important and how interesting comics and hip hop have been connected for a long time. So I did just want to mention this omnibus, this incredible book. It's 400 pages. If you gave this to somebody who enjoys hip hop, who enjoys comics, this will absolutely be something they cherish and will never forget you after getting something like this. So I did want to mention it. I give it a perfect five out of 5 stars. It's the most incredible thing I've ever owned. One of the most incredible. And I think that it is a beautiful way to show the history of hip hop. And I think that Ed is an extraordinary artist and storyteller. I think that he does these annotations so that you can understand where he got the inspirations from. And I just love it. I can't keep going, Darkwing Duck, because I have a stream with Julian in approximately 15 minutes. So I'm going to end the stream now. But I just wanted to thank all of you for showing up tonight. It has been such a pleasure to talk about this incredible omnibus that Ed Piskor has created. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's, a once in a lifetime style book that you would see. I think that his care of the past 10 years or so of creating and getting this omnibus edition of everything, plus the additional 100 and something pages, is something that you will never forget. You won't regret this purchase if you pick it up. So I recommend the Hip Hop Family Tree book to anybody who is an enthusiast about hip hop, about comics. Pick it up, guys. You will not regret it. It's available on Amazon. I think it's around $50. And it's been such a pleasure talking to you about this because I loved it so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the super chat tonight from Tatsusama. Thank you, Tatsusama. So good to see you. Hope you are well. I hope everybody is well out there. Guys, enjoy the holidays. I'm going to be coming up in approximately 15 minutes. I'm going to be talking with Julia Mushkin. We're going to be talking about season 3 of For All Mankind. And the following week, we're going to be covering every episode of season 4 of For All Mankind right here on Positive Fandom and the Burr Network. So, guys, please do check that out. It's such a pleasure to see you all tonight, guys. And remember, guys, no matter where you are in the galaxy, always remember, guys, to please be kind. Okay? Everybody have a good night, and I'll see you on with Julian in a few minutes. Take care, everybody.